The Volvo's appearance is not as exclusive, and it will not find it easy to make its way in this segment. Apart from its grille, there isn't really much here to identify it as a Volvo. It looks like a car, no more, no less. That is its strength and its weakness. Here comes the new Saab 9.3, with no less than 1,100 improvements over its predecessor, Saab 900. These changes affect comfort, ride, road holding, and safety. Saab 9.3 is well and truly in competition with other cars in the premium segment, from Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and Volvo. Mercedes is not usually regarded as one of our more direct competitors, but nonetheless belongs to the segment and is thus compared with Saab 9.3. What is more, Saab 9.3 will represent an interesting alternative to owners of high-volume cars such as the Volkswagen Passat and Ford Mondeo. The lines of the new Saab 9.3 echo the contours of the Saab 9.5 to give our model range a consistent, strong identity on the market. Saab 9.3 has a powerful stance. The resemblance to Saab 9.5 is remarkable, even though the exterior changes are not particularly dramatic. The front now has a deeper and more dynamic spoiler. The grille is new, and with an aircraft wing symbol, which points clearly to the car's aircraft heritage. The shape of the rear section accentuates width and road-hugging posture. It's clear that this is a car with excellent road holding. The bumper is lower, the tailgate is straighter at the rear edge, the decorative panel is gone, and the number plate has been moved up between the taillights. The central brake light has been relocated to the upper edge of the rear window. What is more, Saab 9.3 has an emblem similar to that found on Saab 9.5. The heritage from Saab 9.5 is also traced in the interior. The front seats are wider and more comfortable. And safety has been improved even further, with Saab 9.3 now being equipped as standard with side airbags and the new Saab Active Head Restraint, or SAHR, which reduces the risk of whiplash injuries. The interior color coding is more subtly matched, and the interior fabrics have a more discreet pattern. The cabin is now lit by a dome light set into the headliner. It is in the driver's seat that the aircraft heritage is seen most clearly, both through the cockpit features and the ergonomic design. The most frequently used audio functions are now within fingertip reach via remote controls set into the steering wheel. The main instrument cluster features an asymmetrical speedometer with a layout similar to that of Saab 9.5 on models graded in kilometers per hour. The information available through the auxiliary instruments is even more comprehensive than before and can be upgraded with Saab's trip computer. The driver's environment has been further improved with the addition of a support for the driver's left foot. The tailgate benefits from a new and safer lock mechanism. A few factors which enhance the ride and road-holding characteristics are the hydraulic clutch, longer spring struts, and fine-tuning of the front suspension. In addition, the 15-inch wheels now have a larger dimension, 195/60 tires. There are new 3-spoke 15-inch and 5-spoke 16-inch wheels, the same as on the Saab 9.5. Saab 9.3 is available in a choice of 3 body styles: 3 doors, 5 doors, and cabriolet. Saab 9.3 is available in a choice of 2 equipment levels: Saab 9.3 and 9.3 SE. The base level corresponds to the previous S trim level. The petrol engine range consists of a 2-liter turbo engine producing 185 horsepower, and a 2.3-litre injection engine producing 150 horsepower, and a 2-litre injection engine with a power output of 130 horsepower. The new Saab turbo engine is a turbo diesel. It is being launched on the European market in Saab 9.3. It is a 2.2-litre engine producing 115 horsepower at 4,300 revs a minute. However, it reaches its maximum torque of 260 Newton-meters at just 1,900 revs. This is an excellent figure, entirely in keeping with Saab's engine philosophy, which gives more priority to high torque than to high maximum power output. With its displacement of 2.2 litres, this turbo engine is midway between the 1.8 and 2.5-litre engines of our competitors. We will compare Saab 9.3 with its major competitors in the premium class. The principle for pricing of the Saab 9.3 is that it should offer more performance and higher equipment level than its similarly priced competitors. This pricing policy will naturally differ between the various countries. If we start off with Saab 9.3 with the 150 horsepower 2.3-litre injection engine, this model is comparable with the Audi A4, BMW 318 and Mercedes C180, all powered by 1.8-litre engines. This comparison also includes a Volvo S40 with a 2-litre engine. Let's begin with the exterior. One thing is entirely clear. There is no mistaking the identity of any of these cars. Mercedes C180 is undoubtedly a Mercedes. The grille and three-pointed star are unmistakable design elements, irresistible to slightly older and more conservative car buyers. However, Mercedes do not really try to compete for the youthful car buyer. The car looks bigger, heavier, and more old-fashioned than the others in this comparison, but its solid image of quality is apparent. The Volvo's appearance is not as exclusive, and it will not find it easy to make its way in this segment. Apart from its grille, there isn't really much here to identify it as a Volvo. It looks like a car, no more, no less. That is its strength and its weakness. From the viewpoint of design and style, the BMW is the best-looking of the Saab 9.3's competitors. It exudes both an elegant and aggressive aura. The style of Audi A4 is clean and simple, but by the same token it is also somewhat nondescript and bland. What it does have, however, is an aura of stability and quality which none of the other competitors can match. It is wide, solid, and stable. The new Saab 9.3 has clear family ties with Saab 9.5. It has an unmistakable Saab identity, and it differs considerably from its competitors. It has a dynamic, road-hugging appearance, and its lines are directed clearly towards young, active buyers. The new nose emphasizes its similarity with Saab 9.5, while the changes to the tail enhance the feeling of width and power. The interior of the Mercedes reflects the same high standard as the exterior. The driver's environment exudes quality and class. It is easy to obtain a comfortable driving position, even though the seat cannot be tilted at the front and rear edges. A major disadvantage is that the steering wheel cannot be adjusted at all. The instrument panel feels a bit old-fashioned and conservative. In the Volvo, it is possible to obtain a good driving position, but the process is a bit complicated. The controls are spread around and difficult to reach, and they are awkward to operate. The steering wheel is only adjustable for height, and there isn't much space between the steering wheel and instrument panel. The driver's environment is a bit Spartan in appearance, and the colours and shapes are somewhat uninspiring. The BMW offers a cosy interior. The controls for seat adjustment are grouped conveniently and function simply and logically. It is easy for anyone to find a comfortable seating position, even if neither can this seat be tilted at the front and rear edges. The steering wheel is only adjustable for height. However, this is the only negative aspect of the driver's environment. As an entity, it appeals to even the most discerning driver. The Audi A4 lacks a facility for tilting the seat, which furthermore is rather difficult to adjust, and the upholstery cannot be regarded as anything other than uninspiring. The steering wheel is adjustable for both height and reach. The instrument panel meets all the requirements for clarity and ergonomics, and it is easy to appreciate why Audi has gained such an enviable reputation for well-thought-out technology and quality. This Saab is fitted with an optional power seat, featuring a comprehensive range of adjustment possibilities. The seat is wide and comfortable, and its colour scheme and design link it aesthetically with Saab 9.5. It's easy to see that this environment fetches its inspiration from an aircraft cockpit. The steering wheel can only be adjusted for reach. The aircraft heritage can be seen clearly in the instrument panel, which offers an exceptionally high standard as regards form and function. All the instruments and controls are logically positioned and ergonomically designed. The panel has a new warm grey colour, which imparts an aura of restrained exclusivity. When it comes to cabin space, the Mercedes has the widest rear seat and the Saab the narrowest. As regards legroom, it's the other way round. The Saab offers the most space and the Mercedes the least. When all the dimensions are taken into account, the Audi has the least spacious rear seat. All the luggage hatches have a commendably high opening. On the other hand, all except the Saab have narrow openings into the boot, and in the competitors' cars it is necessary to lift luggage above floor height in order to load the car. The Mercedes offers 356 litres of boot space. The Volvo has 390 litres. The BMW takes 317 litres. The Audi can take 372 litres, and the Saab 376 litres. These are all very impressive figures for cars of this size. Measured in litres, the BMW has the least space and the Volvo the most. Saab takes second place. However, the Saab's luggage compartment has the best and most practical layout for packing suitcases and bags, and does in fact swallow most luggage. The Saab's hatchback concept also offers benefits in the form of the fold-down rear seat, with its 40, 60, 100% split-fold facility. So in practical terms, the Saab offers the luggage-carrying capacity of an estate car. In the Volvo, BMW and Audi, the rear seat can be folded down, but strangely enough this feature is not offered in the Mercedes. It is in the engine compartment that Saab 9.3 leaps ahead of its otherwise fairly well-matched competitors in a price comparison. The aim is that irrespective of whichever engine the Saab is equipped with, in terms of price, it will only be matched by less powerful and less lavishly equipped competitive marques. Here we have a Saab 9.3 with the 2.3-litre injection engine as the starting point. In terms of price, we thus compete with the 1.8-litre engines of our main competitors. The Volvo in this comparison is powered by a 2-litre engine. The Saab leads the pack in terms of performance. The Saab produces 150 horsepower at 5,700 revs a minute. The Audi produces 125 horsepower at 5,800 revs. The BMW produces 115 horsepower at 5,500 revs. The Volvo produces 140 horsepower at 6,000 revs. And the Mercedes produces 122 horsepower at 5,500 revs a minute. However, total horsepower at top revs only provides an indication of acceleration from 0 to 100 and maximum speed. Torque is more important than sheer horsepower. Here too Saab 9.3 shows the way, with 210 Nm at 4,300 revs a minute. The Audi offers 173 Nm at 3,950 revs a minute. The BMW 168 Nm at 3,900 revs a minute. The Volvo 183 Nm at 4,500 revs. And the Mercedes 170 Nm at 4,200 revs. The practical difference is seen in how willingly the car pulls in top gear, and how often one needs to change down. The higher the torque at low revs, the faster the response to the accelerator, and the more relaxed the driving experience. The higher the torque, the more pulling power the engine develops. This engine flexibility is often best measured when overtaking from 80 to 120 km per hour in top gear. The Saab is quickest, with 16 seconds, followed by the BMW with 16.8, the Volvo with 17.3, and the Audi with 17.4, while the Mercedes brings up the rear with 19.5. However, performance has its price. Saab 9.3 pays in the form of fuel consumption at 9.8 litres per 100 kilometres of mixed urban and highway driving. The best figure here is scored by the BMW, with 8 litres per 100 kilometres. Behind the wheel, the Mercedes feels sluggish and underpowered. It's low-geared, and one has to stir that gear lever a lot to persuade the car to get up and go. The gears are spaced far apart, and gear changes are slow. But this is a comfortable car for long journeys, although it is perhaps not all that comfortable for the driver. The Volvo is far quicker than the Mercedes. However, because the gear lever moves as the car accelerates and brakes, this makes for rather vague, imprecise gear changes. The overall impression suffers, even though the car itself is otherwise easy to drive. The BMW's engine isn't up to the job. It's not powerful enough to propel the car's rather heavy weight. It's little consolation that the gearbox invites snappy, short-throw gear changes. Even a keen driving enthusiast will soon tire of changing gear as frequently as is necessary with this engine. Nor does the BMW make the grade as a car for long journeys. The Audi scores even higher than the BMW when it comes to gear change quality. Furthermore, its extra horsepower comes in quite handy here, making this a smooth car to drive, particularly in urban traffic. One annoying disadvantage, however, is that the noise inside the car is a bit tinny, so the Audi is not a particularly comfortable car on a long journey either. The Saab is more difficult to start smoothly than its competitors. It's high-geared in comparison, but the engine's extra performance delivers instant response and makes for easy progress. Gear change quality is as distinct as in the Audi and BMW. The new front suspension in Saab 9.3 features longer spring struts, and the suspension has been fine-tuned. As a result, the car swallows imperfections in the road with greater poise and ensures considerably improved comfort. It is entirely on par with the Audi and BMW. The Mercedes is the car with the best ride comfort. The Volvo is the worst, owing to its very short spring travel, which promotes a very bumpy ride. The chassis characteristics are excellent in all the cars, but let's put them to the test to see what differences we can note. The Mercedes isn't built to take this kind of treatment. It moves sluggishly, and with its soft chassis, it does not respond as directly as the driver might wish. It is slow and difficult to maneuver. It takes a very skilled driver indeed to get the Mercedes around this test track. The Volvo, which is so eminently controllable on the road, is surprisingly difficult to drag around the slalom track. It understeers severely and requires considerable steering wheel input to produce a moderate change of direction. The squealing tyres are a testimony to the rough treatment needed to pull the car through such an evasive manoeuvre. The BMW does well, just as expected. It is rear-wheel driven and has a tendency to oversteer, so easing around the cones is simplicity itself. The same applies to the highly neutral front-wheel drive Audi. This is the car which gets around the cones with least fuss. Just point the car and the Audi A4 gets on with the job efficiently and quietly. The Saab requires a bit more driver input to get around the cones, but it is still smooth and fully controlled. It understeers slightly and behaves consistently, which is why it is perceived as sporty yet safe even in difficult situations. The brakes on these cars show fairly disparate results. With the brakes hot from repeated use, the Audi produces the best results from 100 km an hour to standstill with a braking distance of 40.2 meters. The Volvo comes last, needing 47.7 meters to haul itself to a standstill. From the viewpoint of safety, these cars are among the best the industry can produce. It is virtually impossible to rank any one of them ahead of the others. Saab 9.3's predecessor was recently recorded as the safest car in its class by HLDI, the American Traffic Safety Institute. The HLDI survey is based on compensation claims for personal injuries lodged with US insurance companies, so it is a real-life gauge of safety out on the roads. With Saab 9.3, Saab takes another major step forward in improving overall safety levels, with the fitting of side airbags as standard. It also gets the same safety seat as Saab 9.5, featuring the Saab active head restraint. This is how it functions. In a crash from behind, the head restraint is pushed forwards by the weight of the seat occupant. It functions entirely mechanically, without the help of sensors or explosive charges. The restraint catches the head before it is thrown backwards by the force of the crash, thus reducing the risk of whiplash injuries, one of the most common types of car-related injury today. Saab 9.3 is the second member of Saab's new, clear-cut and aggressive model range, in which Saab 9.5 has already taken its place. Both Saab 9.3 and Saab 9.5 are designed to appeal to successful individualists who regard their choice of car as an expression of their personalities. Saab 9.3 is the entry-level model into the Saab world for the younger members of this customer category, those who seek sportiness and a dynamic driving experience, who are at the start of their careers and are perhaps just starting a family. Saab 9.5 is aimed at a more mature customer category, couples where the children have grown up and left home, but where there is still a demand for sportiness and safety, allied to an abundance of lavish comfort. Saab 9.5 estate car is pitched between these two models. In other words, it is a car for families with children, families requiring plenty of space on the move. Saab's model range thus always offers an alternative suited to the needs of any premium car buyer, irrespective of his or her stage in life. With Saab 9.3, Saab has all the potential for securing the loyalty of existing Saab customers and also for competing directly with the other premium brands. Primarily, however, it also represents massive potential for conquering new markets by attracting young buyers who want to take the step up into the premium segment.